Hey, this is a little review because I haven't seen anything on YouTube about it yet. It's an eBay purchased LED bike light or motorbike light. It's DC. I think it's described as a Cree LED XHP70 light. So it's less than £14 delivered. I'm sceptic about whether it's an XHP70 chip, just because I think they're about £9 or something like that. So it turns up in a box. Took a couple of weeks to arrive. I will include a link to the seller on eBay below in the description, so just look below. So this is what you get. It's one unit, and some Allen keys and brackets, and I guess it's a fork mounting bracket or potentially handlebar. What I have noticed though is that unfortunately there are no spacers. So the mounting hardware looks alright. Casting is fine. I think it's painted, not anodized. But that is quite a wide mount. So I'm going to guess that is, hang on, my light's just gone off, 2 seconds. So I think that's probably a fork mount. That is not a handlebar mount because it would mean that it's about that big. So if you're going to mount this on a handlebar, quite simply, you're probably going to want to put some spacers, some rubber or something in there, so make sure you've got something to use. In terms of the grey of the steel, they always say it's stainless steel. It rarely is. If it is stainless steel, it's probably quite a low grade, so it might be worth replacing these. We'll see if they get rusty. Can't tell from looking at them. So anyway, mounting hardware. It's okay, should do the job. It's fairly sturdy, it's quite chunky. Take a weight, let's find out what it is. So if you're thinking about mounting this on a bike, you've got to think about those kind of things. I'm actually talking about mounting this on a Sur-Ron, which is R-O-N, sorry, Sur-Ron. It's an electric motorbike, so 50 to 100cc equivalent. So the light itself is, including the little cable, is about 230 grams. Mounting hardware, including the Allen keys, 88 grams. Take off the steel bracket, it's 46 grams. So it's about 266 grams all up mounted if you don't use that little extra steel bracket. So what does it do? Well, it's got a glass lens. Feels like that is probably polished aluminium lens. Back, waterproof grommet, ceiling, looks pretty good. It looks like a similar type of seal as you'd get on a floodlight or something outside. A slot mounting system, so you do use that steel bracket actually, or stainless steel bracket. It slides in, there's a little grub screw which goes into the hole here to retain it. Probably quite secure fixing, far better than having something that will easily pivot. So, reflector and die, I don't know if that'll focus. This looks like a 4-chip die, so maybe it is an XHP70, maybe it's an XHP50, that's what I suspect this is. So this is listed as 18 watts draw. XHP70 I believe goes up to something like 3.5, it is way higher, so 3.5 amps, so a lot more, 30 something watts, not 18. But to be honest, at £14, if this is an XHP50 and it works reliably with the lumen output, a couple of thousand lumens, I'm happy. So in terms of construction, I'm going to take a guess. Here we are. It's going to have a heatsink which is removable on the back, threaded aluminium heatsink, and a large threaded rod, and then plastic. Odd. So this is threaded, it must be internally threaded, and then this has been screwed in. I don't really want to pull it apart because I don't want to wreck it. But there is a decent level of waterproofing. I'd be sceptical about the seal here, because I think what they've done is they've used a waterproof sealing mechanism on the back that you'd use on any outside light, for example, with small enough wire, and then I don't think that is bonded to that. Difficult to tell. I think what I do is put a little bit of silicone around there to make sure water doesn't, you don't get water ingress there. This probably goes all the way through to the front. I'm guessing this part, the component here, can actually unscrew, and then that's how you get the innards out. I'm going to guess, but to be honest, I don't really want to wreck this. And if I can't pull headlight apart raising, so this probably is sealed or glued in or something. Maybe someone else, or maybe in the future I'll get another one and pull it apart if there's enough interest, because I would quite like to see what the drive unit is. There must be a copper board PCB something in the back where this is mounted onto. There's not a lot of space there, so I'm not sure where the LED sits, how it's connected up to the heat sinking, and then where the driver is. It's not direct drive. So let's power it up. Just gonna check what we can see. Yep, that should be fine. So I've got a trusty old Maplin's power supply here, set of 12 volts. Can you see what we're doing here? Yep, excellent. So 12 volts, not set to constant current. Let's hook it up and see what it does. So the gauge of the wire, I think it's listed as AWG22, not particularly thick, 22 AWG it says. But it is copper rather than copper coated aluminium, so they are taking into account the fact that this does need some juice into it. Powered on. Right, so at 12 volts, with the initial drawing is 1.623 amps. As it heats up and the resistance changes, I would expect this figure to drop somewhat, maybe go down to 157 or something like that, maybe. Maybe that's ticking down already. So this thing is bright. It's obviously really difficult to explain, to show how bright it is with this setup. I'm just using a phone at the moment, but I will do some test shots against a Sur-Ron EU road-approved headlight and maybe Mercedes Sprinter van and a Honda CD125 twin. This is, I'd say, brighter than Sur-Ron headlight by quite a long way, maybe twice as bright, and definitely brighter than my 35 watt incandescent bulb, which is in a motorbike. But that's not all that surprising. So the total draw of this is around, not far off 18 watts. So to spec, they're not overselling it. They're not saying it's going to draw 30 watts, and then they're actually saying it is going to draw 18 watts, and it's not far off, so I'm happy with that. In terms of heat, so been on for a short while, it's starting to get a little bit warm, but the heat sinking does appear to be fairly effective at the back. Interestingly, it's getting quite a lot of heat coming through it, so that threaded rod we see it's all going through must be connected directly to the PCB, and then this just wraps around it or screws on. What's surprising, and it must be, is it's actually quite a lot of heat coming out the front. So generally on LEDs, obviously heat goes out the back through the PCB and through the heat sinking. There's a fair bit of warmth there. It's not going to hurt you, but it's hot. Yeah, it is bright.